Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you are all studying and we hope you're all reading your textbook and doing all your homework. So, I'm your science teacher, Mrs. Neelu Gaur, and now in this way we will communicate with each other. Okay? So, what we were discussing in our previous class was that how can you divide the materials? Okay? So, I asked you to do an activity that you look around you and find out the different kind of materials in your room, the things which are made up of different kind of materials. So if we observe, there are so many things. Few things which are made up of metal. There are few things in your room which are made up of wood. There are few things in your room which are made up of even the paper also, the cloth also. So there are different kind of materials. Okay. And each material has its own properties. Then I ask you to do one activity that you find out how many things are made up of wood. Just look at around you and list those things, and how many things are made up of paper. Make a list of those things, and you have done that activity very well. So now we will discuss about the properties of those materials. Okay. In the last lesson, we discussed about different materials like there is a wood, the paper. Okay. And now we are going to discuss about their properties. So the first property that we already discussed that day was the hardness. So it's simple that the thing which you compress with your hand and they can be compressed very easily. Those things comes under the category of soft. Like I'm having this soft toy. So if I'm compressing it with my hand, it's very easy for me to compress. See. So which can be very easily compressed with your hands only. Those things comes under the category of soft materials. Inside it, there is a cotton and the cloth only. So it is soft. Now if I take this glass, some metal glass, okay, steel glass in my hand. And now if I want to compress it with my hand, I can't. See. Okay. So those things which cannot be compressed by our hands, those things comes under the category of hard material. So broadly we can divide them into two, hard and soft. Okay. Even this wooden pencil in my hand, this also if I'm trying to compress with my hand, I can't. So this also comes under hard. But if you compare it with the metal, then comparatively the properties will be different. Now what is the difference? This can be broken, but even if you want to break it, it can't even be broken also. So that we will discuss later, that what are the properties of metals and non-metals. Here we are just discussing about the hardness and softness. So few materials are soft in nature and few materials are hard in nature. Okay, so why do we need to study about these properties? Because based on the properties and the uses, see, what is the use? Why do we want to make that particular item? It is based on the use and the property. Like you want to make one water bottle, and if I ask you to make that water bottle only with the paper, okay, or a cloth, you can't, because it cannot hold the water. The water will leak from it. So you need to know about the property. You need something hard. Also that thing which will not leak the water. So you need either the plastic or any kind of metal. Okay. So that is why it is very important to learn about the property. Okay. Then that is the first property, the hardness and the softness. Now the second property which we are going to discuss today. Children, if you remember in 5th class, we have done one experiment. Again, I am doing it in front of you. I have this glass of water in my hand and I will pour one another liquid. Some drops I poured inside it. That is one syrup. Okay, those syrup in my hand. Then when I stir it, see, it become reddish pinkish in color. The color got changed. See, earlier it was white, okay, transparent, and now if you see the color, it's changed into the reddish color. Why it changed into reddish color? Because the liquid which I poured inside it got dissolved in the water. And whatever materials that got dissolved in the water, they are all called as the soluble materials. They all are soluble. So even if you will pour the sugar inside it, it will also get dissolved. If you will pour the salt inside this, it will also get dissolved. Okay. But so what you conclude from this, that all those things which get easily dissolved in water, they are all called as the soluble materials. Then there is one coin in my hand, and there is one more glass of water in my hand, and if I pour this, see what will happen? The coin will settle down, and even if you keep it like that for a few hours also, the coin will not dissolve in it. So you can say it is insoluble in water, and also it's heavy in weight, so it sank in the water. So you can take even the chalk powder or the sand, and then you pour it in the water and then observe whether it is getting dissolved or not. These few activities you can do yourself. Then there is one more thing in my hand, and if I'm placing it in water, it doesn't get dissolved also, okay, and neither sand. It is just floating on the water. So that we have discussed in 6th class, no? Mixes, sinks, and floats. So what we can conclude, that those things which get dissolved in the water, they are all soluble materials, and those things which doesn't dissolve in the water, they are all insoluble. So broadly you can categorize into soluble and insoluble. Okay, like this also. In this picture also, see the coins, they are here, the leaf is floating, and it is getting dissolved. So you can broadly divide them into soluble and insoluble materials. Now if you pour the oil in water, then oil will also not dissolve in water, but it will form one layer over the water. So you can conclude that even the oil is insoluble in water. If you take sand in water, the sand will settle down, but it will not dissolve in water. So you can say the sand is also insoluble in water. But if you will drop the sugar or the salt, they are soluble in water. So few experiments, children, you can do at home also. You take some glasses and put water in it, half only, and then try to pour something. You can take anything. You can take the nails, you can take the sand, the chalk powder, oil, sugar, lime juice. Okay, anything you can use, and then you categorize them into soluble and insoluble. This one activity you can do. So on the basis of this, we can divide the things into soluble and insoluble. See, this boat, if you can see, they are just floating on the water. They are also insoluble. So that is another property. So why do we need to study about this property, children? That what are those things which are getting dissolved in water, and what are those things which are not getting dissolved in water? Because our body is also working on that, you know, whatever food we are eating, okay, water also we are drinking. So all the food nutrients, all the food particles, they are getting absorbed in our body. Okay, so we need to study about this property also. There are so many things, and our body is also working on the same funda. Then the next property, children, which comes is, see, if you see this picture, there's a big window you can see, and outside the window, whatever is there, you can see very easily, because the light can easily pass through it. So those substances through which the light can pass very easily, and you can see through them. You can see through them. Like I'm holding this glass, I can see through this glass also, whatever is there. Okay, because the light can pass through it. So those objects through which the light can pass very easily and we can see through them, all these are called as transparent objects. Okay, they are all called transparent objects. Like this glass also, it is transparent. You can see through this. Okay, so now you can observe in your house what are those things which are transparent. Okay, if you go to any shop, children, like the jewelry shop or the cloth of garment shop, so you see they will display all their items. So where they are displaying the transparent glass so that people can see through them. Okay, if they will put it inside any wooden thing or something, you can't see. So they are putting it in some transparent glasses so that all person can see through it. So all these objects through which the light can pass are called as the transparent objects. Now, there are few things, children, like this glass. In these type of objects, only the few amount of light can pass through it, not the full. So you can see through it, but the image will not be as clear as in the transparent object. Okay. So these type of objects where only the partial light can pass through, they are called as the translucent object. Translucent. Light is passing through them, but not fully, and we can see through them, but the image will not be as clear. Even in your houses also, few windows are there which are having the translucent glasses. Some of the windows have transparent glasses, and some of the windows are translucent also, especially in your washrooms and all. Okay. Then there are few sub objects. See this wood. Now, if you pass the light through this wood, the light cannot pass through the wood, and you cannot see through the wood. So these type of objects are called as the opaque objects. So the objects that do not allow any light to pass through them are called as opaque objects. So not at all the light is transparent. Okay, so we cannot see through them. That is why our doors, they are mainly made up of this. You can't make your door of transparent. Otherwise, everyone can see your house. You can't make your house of the glass. Otherwise, everyone can see through your house. You need some privacy. So that is why it is very important to know, to learn about the properties. Then what are the uses? And based on those properties and uses, we are making the thing. So now we can divide them, materials. The next property, transparent, through which we can see. Translucent means not that very clear, and opaque objects through which the light cannot pass. In this picture also you can see this boy. See this picture, if you see, that is the transparent. This one is translucent, and this one is opaque. Transparent, translucent, opaque. Transparent, translucent, opaque. So this is also one of the properties. See, in this picture also, this glass is transparent. This glass is translucent, and this object is opaque. You cannot see through it. Okay, so this is also one of the properties. So what we have discussed today, how many properties? Hardness, soft. Okay, hard and soft we can divide. Then we have discussed about the soluble and insoluble. Then we discussed about the transparent, translucent, and opaque. And as I told you that we need to study about these properties, because based on the properties and uses, we are making the things. Like I have told you that all the shopkeepers, they are displaying their jewelry or the clothes only in the transparent boxes. Okay, otherwise how will the person will see that what is there inside? And you can't make your houses transparent or translucent, otherwise there will be no privacy of your home. So you should study about these properties. So children, now what you have to do, now you have to open your textbook. All of you are having this textbook now. So you have to read page number 28, 29, 30 and 31. These pages you read. Okay. And then that experiment also you do. What are the soluble and what are insoluble, and then just find out what are the things in your home which are transparent, which are translucent and opaque. These two small activities you do and write in your HW and read the textbook. Okay, children? So thank you and have a good day.